Hey guys, so in module 6, I'm going to touch on client retention and referral mastery. So pretty much just being able to keep those clients from not canceling and then having those existing clients send you even more clients. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get into it with lesson 1, client onboarding and setting expectations. And so as far as this concerns, the way you kind of develop a long-term relationship with your clients is first and foremost, you want to manage expectations early, set clear communication standards, define service deliverables, and establish response time expectations. So, what does this all mean when you're establishing a relationship early with your clients? And so, depending on the service that you're in, you might have a customer service number that you can refer over to them, or you might be the direct agent that they're always calling you and asking you all the questions when it comes to their plan. As annoying as it may seem, it makes a lot more sense for them to be on the latter side, the ones that are calling you, because again, if you're able to set that expectation early to let them know that, hey, I'm here, whenever you need me, then they're not going to call you, they're not going to call you one to cancel or just cancel without even telling you, period. Right. So you want to let them know that you come attached to whatever option. You're their agent. You're there to serve them. And so when they realize that, that also adds an extra bonus as to why they're going to go with you as your agent versus someone else who might even be able to get them a lower rate. Right. And so for me, again, this was something that in my earlier career that I had to learn on how to develop because I didn't really want to establish the relationship early. I kind of wanted to sell them and go to the next. But eventually, when I came to realize that, one, I was losing a lot of money from a referral standpoint by doing that. And two, it's simply just not good practice as an agent if you're not getting back to your clients and you're just focused on the next one because they're going to, again, cancel and it's going to ruin your volume as far as what you're selling, your book of business, your residuals, pretty much the entire structure of your insurance business is pretty much going to be faltered if you're not able to master this in the very early stages. Second, you want to water the best relationships. Now, what I mean by that is, of course, identify your high value clients. This might be the clients that have a higher premium that they're paying. This might be the family of 5, the 6. A lot of the people that I sold back in the day were business owners. And so I made sure to develop a strong relationship with them just because I understood what being that 1099 employee was. Created personalized touch points, like I said, whether it's happy birthdays, whether it's thank you cards. I did a lot of thank you cards in my time, just thanking them as soon as they got approved or they got their policy stuff. I would just send them a personalized note, hand wrote it, and I would just send it over to them. Might take me an hour or two on a Sunday to knock out, but it at least let them know that you're building that genuine connection of, hey, if you ever need anything as far as your plan is concerned, please, reach out to me directly and I'll be able to get that for you. Whether it's additional cards, insurance cards, additional brochures, they need to find a new doctor, just be able to be that extra assistance for them. Focus again with the clients that you know are going to be the higher paying clients because they probably know other people that are higher paying clients as well, or high value clients in that sense. And then number 3, go above and beyond. So look for opportunities to exceed expectation, add unexpected value, document client wins. So this, what I would say is I would always offer a referral program to my larger clients or my higher value clients that far outweighed ask for just a regular client. So for example, let's say I had a referral program that was $100 and that was, for every client that they were able to send my way, right? If that was someone that I knew was a high value client, I wouldn't mind paying $200 for that same referral because I know that chances are it's going to be a higher premium that they're paying, which means the higher commission for us, me specifically. And so even if I paid them $200, the percentages of what it would pay me would be still the same. Right. So don't be afraid to add the additional value. I've heard of some of my agents sending out gift baskets, sending out stuff for Valentine's Day, balloons. If they got, I was always curious as to know, even with the small businesses too, whether they had like a little knickknack shop online, an e-commerce store. A lot of times they would have bakeries, restaurants. And so just being able to support their business just the same way that they're helping you is one way of being able to foster that relationship early on, so that now anytime they do, I got clients that still call me to this day, that every time they call, it's like you're talking to one of your best buddies, right? But again, the way that you guys met was selling insurance. I've met them in person as well, where I was able to foster that relationship, check out their restaurants, order stuff. Sometimes they have art galleries, right? A lot of these business owners. So you never know. I mean, like I said, it's the more you go into it and try and be genuine and be kind. Obviously, they're looking for insurance, but the more you try and build that connection with them and actually try and get to know them versus just treating them as a normal sale, the better it'll eventually end up being for you. I mean, if you have friends or you have people that you do things for without asking stuff in return, um, that's typically the same way that these clients will treat you. They'll treat you like they're one of, oh, this is my insurance guy. He's a cool guy. They wouldn't even, they don't even have to be incentivized to refer you if you do a great job of going above and beyond and setting that expectation early of always being, again, there to deliver for them, always being courteous, and just always being someone that's genuine, saying, hey, I'll take care of it for you. Because that's what people want to hear when they're calling their insurance agent. Hey, I'll take care of it for you. And so kind of think about that to yourself right now. How do you currently onboard your clients? Is there anything that you would add to currently make that experience more memorable? Kind of take that down for a moment and see if there's anything. I know, again, in my early days, clearly the way I was doing it was just signing them up and then going to the next. And then once I realized the personalized notes and the business cards and the thank you letters and the automated text messages, that started to foster a relationship that did not let them, hesitate to call me. I always prefer them calling me before customer service because, the customer service can't do as nearly as good of a job as us when we sit in front of the screen all day and talk about insurance, So it's not what we want to do, but it's laying the groundwork for what needs to be done to foster that relationship and to develop that relationship, because you never know who knows who. And just understanding that chain, and this goes into from a life perspective as well, just being courteous to people and treating people with kindness. You never know what kind of return that yields, even when you're not expecting it. Lesson 2, building your referral system. So the core principles of your referral system should offer as such. You have timing your requests. So I would always ask for referrals right after I got done selling them. As soon as they called me with something, maybe like a customer service issue, as soon as they said something as far as positive feedbacks, regular review meetings, if they ever want to review their policy, really any chance I got, whether they were calling me or whether it was during the sale or whether it was after the sale, I would say, hey, who else would you know that has this same need for health insurance, right? And they would think about it. And if there's nobody in that moment, okay, well, no worries. Just keep that in mind if anyone does come up, right? Because health insurance referrals work a little differently than just a specific product that someone was looking for, because it really depends on if the offer that you're providing them really at the end of the day is something that they need in that moment. And unless it's open enrollment, and you're able to capitalize off that, a lot of times a referral outside of open enrollment really is just contingent on whether or not they're satisfied with their current coverage situation, right? I'd like to offer incentives as well. So $50, $100 for successful, $50 if it's a smaller policy, like maybe an individual, $100 if it's a family. Like I said earlier, if I know it's a larger policy that I have on my books, I'll send them $200, $250. I don't care, because I know if whoever he's sending me is going to be just as big in terms of premium as the initial sale was from him. And so value your high value clients, excuse me. Not your high clients, but send them over 200, 250, send them random postcards and prioritize them. Obviously prioritize all of them, but incentivize them a little bit more than you would your normal clients. Run seasonal promotions, company referral programs. Again, be creative with this kind of stuff. I've seen all sorts of different promotions, landing pages. I know people send gift cards. It's not a lot, $5, $10. You're running your own business here as an insurance agent. So the better that you are at standing out and making sure that you're separating yourself from the next stage, the more likely it is you're not only going to get referrals, but you're going to get high quality referrals. Again, I know there was this lady that I was working with that was in my office, and she a lot of times, especially early on, realized this very early. And she was very bubbly on the phone. And so she made herself very likable and followed through, and customer service was always done. And she ended up actually operating purely off of referrals. I know a lot of people in the industry at this point that operate purely off of referrals, where their phones are ringing and they have to schedule, versus them having to make outbound calls and set appointments and do all that stuff with people that are cold, right? But warm referrals, I mean, it's the highest close rate that you'll get. It is the highest probability of you closing someone because you've already built that connection and you've built that trust. And so the more creative that you get in setting that up and structuring that, the better it's going to pay out for you in the long run, where you're not having to make outbound calls anymore and you're strictly just operating off of referrals, which should be the dream for most business owners, if not all. So key referral moments, again, post approval. So let them know they got approved, set the expectations of what they have to do next. Maybe they have to create an account, get their insurance cards, and then drop that referral. By the way, is there anyone that you know that is in a similar situation as you in need of health coverage? Or if you want to reframe that, like Alex Samosi says, who else do you know that's in need of health insurance at this moment? Any friends, family members, and throw stuff out there, right? If coworkers, a great place to kind of jump into that niche. So if you're getting somebody on a plan that is coming from an old job, and let's say they laid a bunch of people off, dive into their situation of why they were looking to begin with, because oftentimes that'll open up maybe who else in their circle would be in need of coverage. And then from there, you can throw in the incentive on top of that, which will help have them come up with names. I remember the first couple of people that I ended up sending money to for a referral, they were shocked. They were like, "Oh, all I got to do is send you people." I'm like, "Yeah, man." And if you even want to throw this 2 cents in, you send me 2 people. Let's say their premium is $300. You send me 3 people, sir. That'll pay for your premium. And so now they kind of look at it, instead of paying their health insurance, they just got to send me 3 people a month, and their premiums are covered. And however you need to structure that, I feel like is relevant in terms of planting the referral seed for them, and so that they acknowledge that, hey, I help you, you help me, and we'll make this all kind of go. And policy review though. So with policy reviews, if someone has any concerns as far as their coverage, check the satisfaction levels. You're just, again, being genuine. You're offering the assistance that you can, because this is a policy that you have them pick. And then once that's all completed, kind of just when you've addressed their concerns and you've solved their pain points, again, their guard is going to be down. Hey, is there anybody else? And just throw that in. You always want to throw in asking for referrals as many times as possible. You'll be surprised at how many more people will be sent your way just by asking in the times that you're on the phone with them, or doing the policy reviews, or acknowledging that they got approved, or during the presentation. Just, again, throwing that in there, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, will increase your likelihood of even getting referrals on a consistent basis. And then problem resolution, confirm the satisfaction, strengthen relationship, open referral conversation. So again, kind of goes back to what I was saying, where if you're solving their need, and you've already had that strong relationship, or you're developing that stronger relationship with them, that they're now understanding, okay, I can call this guy whenever I need, and he's going to solve whatever insurance problems that I have. This is a guy that does good business. Not only that, he's easy to talk to, and he's sociable, right? Or she. Depending on who it is that you are working with, right? And so with that, like I said, sometimes they will operate without the referral incentives. Sometimes if you're doing such a great job, I mean, if you eat at a great restaurant and you love it, you're probably going to recommend that restaurant to someone else, that's probably in the same, whenever they fly in, or let's say it's another friend that lives in the same city as you. Oh, you got to go try, this burger spot down on 7th Avenue, right? It's just how it works. It's just how good business works. And so treat your business like a business as an insurance agent, and good practices and good referrals will follow. Lesson 3, monthly check-ins and client engagement. So policy review system. So regular check-in schedule set consistently, monthly call times, verify receipts of materials, address questions proactively, and look for referral opportunities. And so a lot of times you can just reach out. I wouldn't say to do this weekly. I would say probably more monthly, if anything. Just because you don't want to bombard somebody with their plan if everything's going well. And a lot of times, sometimes people don't use their insurance. I don't want to say all the time, but there's times people don't use their insurance, so there's not really much to review. So I would start by saying, hey, just give them a call every month, maybe every other month. Just check in. Hey, we just wanted to see how the plan was going for you. You can also have a monthly email campaign as well for them. And what this is, you'll have a contact list. Maybe you want to categorize it based off of the size of the deal, or the size of the premium they're paying, so you can figure out who's high value and who's not. But this will send you regular updates, seasonal messages, and throw in the referral program, sprinkle it in there. I'm going to drop in a tutorial on a CRM system that'll automate that for you guys. So again, I'll provide that for you guys here shortly. But the CRM system will allow you guys to automate this whole process. So they'll get text messages on their birthdays, their holiday seasons. It'll throw in the referral program ask after every single seasonal message or birthday message. And then from there, it'll just be something that is, again, automated so that you're not having to think about a creative message to send out every single time it's 4th of July or Flag Day or Valentine's Day or any of these random holidays that we have. Okay. And then customer service excellence. This is something that I hated doing. I struggled with. The reason for this was because I just, anytime I saw a client calling, there's that feeling in my gut that I was like, oh, I really don't want to have to answer this call. And this is early on as an agent, and so a lot of times the customer service would be done by customer service, which is the 800 number. And again, like I said, they're never going to do as good of a job as you. And so what I learned early on and what generates a lot of referrals is answering the call. If you can answer the call right away, you have their name saved. Hey, Jim, how's it going? All of a sudden, they're like, oh my God, 1, he remembers me. 2, he picked up right away. This is someone that I can trust, and especially the more times that they call you and the more times that this happens, the more that trust is going to develop in due time. Provide immediate solutions. So a lot of times the reason that they're calling might be something as simple as they lost their insurance cards or they want to know something as far as their plan benefits. You answer their question within a 2-minute conversation, because that's typically how long it's going to be. Unless it's claims or something, that's a little bit takes longer than that. Usually it's a very simple solution that you're going to be able to solve for them. But nobody likes to be on the phone with customer service, no matter what it is, whether it's an agent, whether it's you're on the phone with IT or whatever the case is. Nobody wants to be on the phone with customer service for 20, 30, 40 minutes. That just grows frustration, no matter who you are, right? And so you eventually end up being someone clients want to do business with. And you're, of course, going to maintain professionalism, because sometimes they'll call you, which I have this as well, where they'll call you because they want to cancel for whatever reason, right? And you provide them the proper context of why they want to cancel and give them the information to cancel. Chances are in the future, if their situation changes and they want to hop back on a plan because they all of a sudden, are no longer working or whatever the case is, you're going to be the first person they call up because of how professional you were, even in the process where you realized you weren't going to be working with them directly anymore. In addition to that, I can't tell you how many times that someone's canceled and they've sent me referrals, even though they're no longer on the policy, right? And that's just because, again, going back to the customer service, you still, during their time, answer the calls, provided solutions, and you were someone that they wanted to do business with. Maybe it was something outside of your jurisdiction on why they ended up canceling, right? Because sometimes you can have great service, but if you get a job offer and you don't need the plan anymore, then there's nothing that they're not going to pay for 2 premiums, right? So it doesn't make any sense for them to keep the plan. So maintaining professionalism as a top tier insurance agent, as someone that wants to help them, will help them, and call. Again, you're not going to be able to always answer the phone when they reach out, but the more times that you're able to get back to them in an immediate fashion, whether it's text or phone, develops the trust that much more. And then even if they do end up canceling, they'll either return back to you or it'll increase the likelihood that they're able to send referrals your way. Lesson 4. Client retention systems. And so going back to building long-term relationships, thank you system. So like I mentioned to you guys, I used to send up email with the approval messages automatically and their next steps after every single sign up. I used professional designs. I actually use Vistaprint a lot with personalized messages, which also gave an idea as far as my referral program. So in the note, it wouldn't be anything crazy. It would just say, hey, thank you for trusting me with your business. I offer $100 for anyone that you can send over my way. Throw a couple business cards in there and call it a day. It is going to be a lot of work, in the beginning, especially if you're signing, let's say 2-3 people up a week and you're doing it at the end of the month. You're having to do 12 people. You get backed up. Usually you can knock it out on a Sunday. It doesn't take long. And then you can mail it all out at once it stacks up. Or if you want to mail it out every Sunday, depending on what your schedule looks like. But this really helps because, again, it's adding another level of personalization to it. No one sends out mails, thank you cards anymore in the mail. And so even just adding that element kind of separates yourself as an insurance agent. And so this definitely helped me out. Like I said, if you want to be creative and you want to do something other than thank you cards, you want to do pens, you want to do magnets or something silly that has logo and brand on it, it kind of separates yourself. You can do that as well. But again, just that customization aspect to it is going to help develop that long-term relationship. Is, well, that was nice. Like he sent me, a pen or a magnet or a picture frame, or it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it has your logo on it, and as long as they're paying additional for it, it's someone that, hey, like when you go in and you get the mint at the restaurant, or you get a piece of, you get a toothpick, or you get a T-shirt from your favorite restaurant, it's the same concept, right? Except you're not as big as this establishment. You're just adding that level of appreciation for the service that they've given you. Okay. And then center of influence strategy. So with this, identify connected clients, share success stories. Testimonials are key. Asking for referrals is key. And then obviously creating a mutual benefit opportunities. So with this, what I would say is, what you have to take into consideration is if you can get more people to talk good about you, and put that on some sort of a landing page, Facebook, business, whatever. Same way that you go on a restaurant and you look at its 5 stars and you connect that to the fact that it's probably a very, 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 very good restaurant. Same concept. If a lot of people are saying a lot of good things about you, you're probably a trustworthy person. More people will want to do business with you. Simple as that. Okay. And so with that, get stories out of them. I mean, of how you were able to help them. If these are people that you've actually developed a deep relationship with, then chances are they wouldn't mind, even for no value, for no money or nothing in return, doing these referrals. You can incentivize it. You can offer the $5-10 Starbucks gift card. You can offer. I've seen people offer stuff like coffee gift cards. I know sandwich gift cards. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just get them to obviously share their success story, how you were able to help them navigate the crazy health insurance market, and getting that on the landing page is just going to make things a lot easier for you when someone else is a little weary on you and they look at your page and, oh my God, now he's got 50 people saying this guy's an amazing guy. Same as if you're looking at a restaurant again and you see 4.8 stars and 500 people or 5,000 people reviewed this restaurant. Unless you're allergic to the food, you're probably going to have a really good time in that restaurant, right? And you're probably going to go to it. Same concept there. And so implement a checklist. I mean, as far as this is concerned, a lot of this will be automated in the CRM system there that we'll go over here shortly. But the key to mastering referrals, again, is consistently delivering exceptional service and making it easy for satisfied clients to recommend you. People don't want to recommend you because you're not doing great service. Simple as that. So build that relationship early. Acknowledge the questions that they have when they call you. Get back to them in a timely fashion. And before you know it, they'll be sending you referrals on a consistent basis in no time.